show you the latest on what's going on with Hurricane Lane. There's nothing in the Atlantic right now. We're watching some stuff, but again, there's nothing going on. 145-mile-an-hour winds moving to the northwest at 7 miles an hour as of the latest advisory. There's where it is local time, Honolulu time, at 8 o'clock on Thursday evening. Now we move on into Friday morning, and then, of course, on Friday during the evening hours, 100-mile-an-hour winds. Hopefully, it is beginning its turn to the northwest by that point and still weakening. There you can see the island of Oahu. Lots of flooding going on in the big island of Hawaii there. Remember, this is mountainous, and that wind, that very, very tropical, moist wind, hits the mountains and rises and creates huge amounts of rain. So far, they've had around 18 inches of rainfall, lots and lots of flooding. They could end up with around 30 inches of rainfall out of this, and some of the other Hawaiian islands as well. There's Oahu with Honolulu on it, and again, passing close enough by to where they'll they'll get a good solid bite out of this storm, remembering that the worst part of any storm is on the east side of any hurricane. Now we move on, and it just falls apart, becoming a tropical storm rather quickly as it moves on off to the west and finally northwest again. So there's the latest on what's going on. It's nearing Hawaii, still pretty well formed. You can see all these clouds out there associated with it. A fairly clean view of things. The eye is not as well formed as it was a little bit earlier on, but you can see it's a little bit obscured right now, but wobbling around there. You can see the bumpy clouds surrounding it. You can also see some of the rain clouds, which have moved through the big island of Hawaii and moving on up toward Oahu as well. Of course, that's where Honolulu is. And in conjunction with where we are, you see on either end of the screen, and we move on in for our weather. Absolutely terrific weather. We've got a place carved out by the eastern third of the United States, getting some very, very nice dry air, and that's going to be very, very pleasant. Cooler than average during the overnight hours and during the day coming up for tomorrow. Average high temperature this time of year is 84, and I think we'll be below that coming up for the day tomorrow, just a little bit below that. Here's where we are at the midnight hour, 63 to around 72 degrees. Work our way through the overnight hours, 55 to about 70. I'm going a little bit cooler than that in some of the Hampton Roads cities by tomorrow morning. I think we'll see 66, 68 degrees into some of the Hampton Roads cities, and then around 81. That's what I'm going for the day tomorrow. Today we hit 80. Rain? Nah, we're not going to see rain. Here's where we are by Saturday morning. Northeast wind near the coastline, northerly wind farther inland. There's where we are by 4 in the afternoon. A little bit warmer, likely into the low 80s, around 82, 83. And then from there we go into Sunday. What's going on into Sunday? Well, it'll likely be really 85 to 88 is where I'm going for a high temperature. This is 7 o'clock in the evening, past the heat of the day. Low 90s coming up on Monday. Tuesday, low 90s quite likely. Wednesday, low 90s. Where's the rain? Well, it finally shows up on Thursday. I think Thursday we'll finally see our first shot at some rainfall. That's a week from today. Dew points have been fairly dry. Look at this, 55 to around 60 degrees, and that's as of 11 o'clock at night. We'll take you to midnight, 55, 56 degrees. It rises a little bit tomorrow morning, but still in that dry to pleasant range coming up. And it stays that way during the day coming up on Friday. And really, it doesn't change all that terribly much into the day on Saturday until the end of the day. We start to see a rise back on up to about moderate 65, 66 degrees. So that's what's going on with our forecast. 81, 83, slight increase in humidity coming up by Saturday. A lot more, though, by Sunday, and a lot more heat, 87, and then low 90s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.